This week we're talking about being lonely after your child comes out as transgender and what you can do about that, because it's really hard to be the parent of a transgender child and to find community with other parents of transgender children who really are the only people who know what it's like to experience a child coming out as transgender. Because if your child has not come out as transgender, you can't really know what it's like. Other parents of children in the LGBTQ community have a similar understanding of what it's like to experience a child coming out, and can relate to that. And there are aspects of being the parent of a transgender child that other parents can relate to. That loss of your identity as a parent of a child, or the loss of the expectation of what your future as a family might look like, or the grief that you feel. Like, there are some aspects that other parents have an understanding of, but that unique understanding of a child coming out as transgender, nobody gets that unless they have been there themselves. And so parents whose children have come out often find themselves alone and looking for other parents to share in that experience with them. And where do you do that? How do you find other people to talk to? One of the ways that you can do that, if you are on Instagram, is to follow some hashtags. There's hashtag for parents of transgender children. It's all one word. There's a hashtag parents of trans kids. You could follow those hashtags, and if you don't know how to do that, you can feel free to send me a message. It's very easy. I don't want to take the time to explain it so this video doesn't get too long. If you're on Facebook, there are groups that you can join that are for parents of transgender children. The tricky thing about that is that not all groups are as supportive as you may think. Some groups are all the way supportive of your entire experience. Whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking, whatever questions that you're having, they are there for you no matter what. The Mama Bears group is a great group for you to join. I share about them all the time. You can go to realmamabears.org and click on groups at the top of their page. It's a little tricky to know how to get to the group for the moms of trans kids. You have to join their big group in order to get to that one. If you want more information about that, feel free to message me. And I also am going to share a blog post this week that has more details about that. So be looking for that later in the week. There are some groups on Facebook that if you share, how can I put this nicely? If you share about your feelings of loss and grief in those groups, you will be, let's just say it's frowned upon. That's the nicest way I can say it. So that's just what I'm going to say. So vet your groups carefully. I have left every group on Facebook, every support group for parents of transgender children, except for the Mama Bears group. So that should tell you something, because I was in a lot of groups. So just be careful. Do your due diligence. You could join as many groups as you want, get a feel for them, because they could offer you something that you're looking for. And so I don't want to knock the groups because everybody needs something different. Just know that all groups are not for everybody. And then another thing that is good to do is to follow people who are parents of transgender children. Like me, you might have found this video, and you could, if you're feeling brave enough, you could send them a message and be like, hey, I'm also the parent of a transgender children, and have a conversation with them. It's really hard to do that. It takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of vulnerability. But know that what is good to do is to follow them for a while, see what they share about, see what they talk about, comment on their posts and get a feeling for what that person, in how they engage and what their personality is like. And if they feel like somebody that maybe you could talk to, give it a shot. You can feel free to message me anytime that you want. I talk to everybody. I have people that I talk to in my messages all day long. And I am happy to share about my experience and give you encouragement and hope in whatever it is that you need. So don't go at it alone. You don't have to be alone. And if there is a support group in your area, I highly recommend joining an in-person support group. Some of them are still meeting on Zoom. I know there's a PFLAG group that meets in my state out in Concord, and they meet on Zoom. They're starting to do a hybrid meeting, but see what you can find that meets locally so that you could get the support that you need. You don't have to be alone. There are people out there who are willing to support you and to share their experiences with you and to let you know that your experiences are normal and they have been where you are, and there is hope for the future. And we'll talk again soon.